Last week, a number of Māori MPs from different political parties debated a range of issues on native affairs, and naturally we all had our different opinions on all of those issues, except one: what to do about our troops in Afghanistan. And it was nice to hear that on that one issue we were all singing from the same song sheet: bring the troops home. I know that in this House it might seem inappropriate to be asking why we are at war when our troops are dying. I don't want people to think that asking questions here today in any way challenges the sacrifice that our troops have made, for some have made the ultimate sacrifice. But I also know that when we go to a tangi for one of our whānau who has died in a car accident, or from smoking, or from an act of violence, or from anything else, we openly ask ourselves why they died, and whether or not there was anything we could have done to stop them dying. Today, Mr. Speaker, is no different. Today, people prepare for the return of their loved ones from Afghanistan, and today we all mourn those who have died, both Māori and non-Māori, and we all share in the grief of their whānau and their communities. And today is the right time to ask questions about why they died, and whether or not there was anything we could have done to stop them dying. Questions that some of the families of those still in Afghanistan want answered. Like, what exactly is it that we are expected to stay the course when that course has changed from one of reconstruction to a more aggressive role? Are our troops still involved in reconstruction, or has that changed to a more direct battle for their survival? Why are we hearing that New Zealand vehicles are being stopped and searched by the Taliban? And is that happening because neither New Zealand nor any of the coalition forces can any longer guarantee security there? When the Prime Minister himself talks about the need to restore security, is it because he also has accepted what everybody already knows, that security is deteriorating in Afghanistan? Is deteriorating security the reason why the Hungarians refuse to patrol at night? And is that why New Zealand troops are being asked to take on a greater role there? Does government accept that the deteriorating security status in Bamiyan and across the country mean that New Zealand need not commit itself to an American timetable of departure, and that we are entirely within our rights as a sovereign nation to ensure the safety and security of our own troops by withdrawing them from frontline action? When government says that they don't want it to look like the Taliban is forcing New Zealand out of Afghanistan, surely they are not saying that they are willing to sacrifice New Zealand troops to prove how staunch we are. When the Minister of Defence confirmed last night that the reports that the Taliban are now specifically targeting New Zealand troops are true, why was he unable to say what additional security is being provided for those troops? Can somebody in the government tell mothers and fathers at home why it is that government has cut back on the resources for our remaining troops when they are under greater threat now than they have ever been? And can somebody please tell us why we have withdrawn the SAS at a time when their support is most desperately needed by our own troops on the ground? Mr. Speaker, if the government's commitment to reducing funding, reducing resourcing and reducing the support levels for our troops in Afghanistan is met by a declaration of specific targeting of our remaining troops by the Taliban, then it is time to accept that the reduction in overall security of our forces on the ground presents our government with one of two simple choices: an immediate enhancement of the security for those on the ground until such time as they can be withdrawn as soon as possible, or an immediate withdrawal of all New Zealand troops from Afghanistan.